Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today, we will be covering Anthropic's standoff with the U.S. Commerce Department over its Fable and Mythos models, Microsoft's Work IQ APIs hitting general availability, Google's Android 17 launch packed with new Gemini features, and a Sensor Tower report showing ChatGPT's audience share slipping below 50% for the first time. Starting with Anthropic, senior technical staff met with U.S. Commerce Department officials on Monday to try to resolve the government order that forced the company to disable global access to Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5. Bloomberg reported on the talks Tuesday, and Anthropic said both sides are working quickly toward a solution. The underlying order arrived Friday, June 12 at 5:21 p.m. Eastern. According to Anthropic, the directive barred access by, quote, any foreign national including inside the United States, and the company said it simply couldn't segment access by nationality fast enough. So it pulled both models offline for every customer everywhere. The government's stated concerns centered on a jailbreaking method tied to identifying software flaws. But Anthropic pushed back hard, arguing the demonstrated vulnerabilities were previously known and relatively simple, and that other public models could surface them just as easily. The sharpest line from Anthropic via Wired was that the government had only provided, quote, verbal evidence of a potential narrow, non-universal jailbreak. That's a striking claim, because it suggests a single contested jailbreak can now trigger a worldwide shutdown of a frontier model. If that becomes the standard, other labs may start delaying releases or building nationality-based access gates directly into how they serve models. And for enterprises, it raises a new kind of risk. A model can be technically available one day and legally unavailable the next. Moving to Microsoft, the company's Work IQ APIs reached general availability today. These APIs expose the workplace intelligence layer behind Microsoft 365 to outside developers, so agents can pull context from email, calendar, meetings, chats, files, and collaboration patterns, and then take actions inside a customer's tenant. Billing runs through Copilot Credits, with no separate Work IQ subscription or per-user license to manage. The structure is worth understanding. Work IQ has 4 API domains: chat, context, tools, and workspaces. Microsoft says the tool surface collapses actions into 10 generic tools using MCP-style progressive disclosure, and claims internal testing showed lower latency and lower token usage compared to traditional APIs. In plain terms, instead of exposing thousands of narrow endpoints, agents get a small set of flexible tools they can reason about more efficiently. Microsoft framed the shift bluntly, saying, quote, software is moving from applications built for people to agents that can reason, retrieve context, and even act. The strategic read is that Microsoft wants 365 to be more than an app suite with Copilot bolted on. It wants to be the substrate other people's agents are built on, with governance and tenant boundaries already handled. For developers building enterprise agents, that's a much shorter path to something a CIO will actually approve. Over at Google, today brought Android 17, Wear OS 7, and a June Pixel drop, all arriving first on Pixel devices. The headline AI additions include Gemini Omni for conversational video creation and editing, Lyria 3 for music generation from text prompts or images, AudioLM-powered speech-to-speech translation on the Pixel 10a, and expanded conversational photo editing across parts of Europe. Pixel Watch also picked up emergency features like crash, fall, and lack of pulse detection. The bigger story is distribution. Google is turning model launches into operating system and device features, so generative video, music, and translation stop being separate apps you download and start being default phone behavior. TechCrunch's read was that Android 17 is built around Gemini's role in creation, communication, and overall device experiences. That sharpens the contrast with Apple, whose broader AI Siri overhaul is still waiting on a fall rollout. Not everyone loved the messaging, though. One Reddit Pixel user summed up the confusion neatly, posting that Gemini Omni is, quote, not an Android 17 feature, it's a Gemini feature, which captures a real tension. When the most exciting capabilities ship through Gemini updates rather than the OS itself, the line between phone upgrade and cloud upgrade gets blurry for regular users. Closing out, Sensor Tower released its State of AI 2026 report today, and the headline number is that ChatGPT's true audience share, meaning unique users across mobile and web, fell below 50% for the first time in March 2026. By the end of May, ChatGPT sat at 46.4%, with Gemini at 27.7% and Claude at 10.3%. In raw numbers, ChatGPT is still the giant at over 1.1 billion monthly users, followed by Gemini at 662 million and Claude at 245 million. The interesting part is the shape of the shift. ChatGPT isn't shrinking, the pie is getting much bigger, and competitors are taking more of the new growth. Sensor Tower projects, global time spent in generative AI apps, will jump from 17.2 billion hours in the first half of 2025 to 36 billion hours in the first half of 2026, more than doubling year over year. Google is converting ecosystem distribution through Android, Search, and Workspace into real assistant usage, and Claude is pulling weight in productivity and developer workflows. For product teams, that argues for designing around multiple assistants rather than betting on one. For OpenAI, it raises the pressure to turn enormous scale into durable, daily habits and revenue, not just visits. The assistant market has officially stopped being a one-app story.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.